for a brighter, sunnier day for today, right? Well, we are very fortunate to have some special guests. We have former all-star pitcher from the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, Dolly Vanderlip is here. And for those that have seen a little independent, low-budget film they made in 1992 called A League of Their Own, we have Cavanagh, who played Marla Hooch. Nights like tonight cannot happen without great partners, and we definitely want to give a heartfelt thanks to the Hormel Institute, celebrating their 80th year this year. If you've not had a chance to visit the Hormel Institute in Austin, I highly suggest that you do. It's been a few years since I've been, and I'm sure it's changed since I lived in Austin. And yeah, their Cancer Research Institute is second to nothing else in the world. So our moderator is going to be Raquel Hellman from the Hormel Institute.
Hi! Well, thanks everybody for coming out. My name is Raquel Hellman. I am the Marketing and Communications Manager at the Hormel Institute. We are a biomedical research center located not too far away from here in Austin, and we focus on finding treatments and cures for diseases, mostly cancer, but also other chronic diseases. So if any of you ever want to come check it out, just let us know. We'd love to show you around. And Megan is a cancer survivor, and that's kind of how this partnership formed. So we love to have that connection to you and your support. So thank you so much, Megan.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy. And listen, when I went to the Institute yesterday for the tour, I thought I was going to see how Spam was made. I had no idea that this was a unbelievably amazing institute where they do research and biomedical things, because I don't know how that all happens, but biomedical things. And they have researchers from like 40 countries that come there, and they have this giant microscope that is, they said that you could, if you lived on the moon, you could see the pores on your nose. That's how intense it is. It is just amazing. So anyway, they do tours, so go and do it. It's so interesting, and I wish I could talk more, but I don't have the words.
I'm impressed that you remember the microscope thing, so it's pretty cool. The cryo-EM microscope. It's one of the most powerful microscopes in the world, so Megan knows all about it now.
Oh, I do.
Well, we're gonna get started, and I think I'll just kind of alternate questions between the two of you. I'll hand you the microphone, and then we can just pass it around, so. All right, so Megan, I mean, you're here, we're celebrating 30 years since A League of Their Own. Can you tell us what your experience was like in that movie and being part of that iconic movie?
Sure. So I won the lotto, that's what it felt like. I got to work with these major stars. I didn't have an agent. I got this movie because they made you play baseball before you could audition, and if you didn't have any skills, you didn't move on. And so there were all of the actresses from the 90s, like Leah Thompson and Brooke Shields and Paula Poundstone, they were all there, and me. And I snuck into the game because I had a friend that was training with my roommate, and I was her ball partner, like I was just her playing partner. And I went there to warm up with her, and then when they said all the ball players stay on the field and everybody else go to the stands, she grabbed my shirt and she said, "Stay." And I was like, I'm Catholic and I will get in trouble. So I stayed, and I got to audition, and I played the best ball of my life, and the rest is history.
That is such a cool story. We love that kind of information. So Dolly, you actually lived out what we kind of saw happen in A League of Their Own. Can you tell us, I know you started very young, do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience and how you got started?
Yeah, I played, as you can tell, I'm not from the Midwest. I'm from North Carolina originally. And I played on a boys' team because there were no girls' teams. Girls didn't play ball then. And it was more or less an area where we built our own field. It was just pickup, neighborhood kids get together, play ball. And we didn't have a street, so we didn't play street ball. So we had to build our own field. And then a few years later, we moved further out in the country, and across the street from us, they were building a housing project. And I went over and of course met the kids, and all of the kids, most of the kids were boys. And so we got together and got a ball team and did the same thing. Well, we didn't have Little League then or anything. So my brother talked to someone he knew who owned a sporting goods store, and they started a 14 and under boys league for the whole county. Well, it was a boys league, but I was the only girl in the league. And so I played, the boys across the street were all my friends. We built our own field and we played together all the time. Football, basketball, baseball, and everything. So I did play on a boys team. I never played softball until after the league was over. And I tried out when I was 13. So I went to all the baseball games, local baseball games with neighbors. And I saw a sign that said women's baseball. I thought, holy cow, women play baseball? So I said, I'm going to try out. So I went home and I told my mother and dad, I'm going to try out for the women's baseball team. They said, give it a shot. You know. So I did, and they told me I was way too young and too small. And at that time I was very small. And I grew a couple inches, put on some weight. The next year they were there again. I tried out again, and I signed with Jimmy Fox, who the baseball fans will know who that is. And I've never been away from home. I turned 15 the day school was out. I tried to get out of school to go, but nobody would let me. The day I turned 15, school was out. I left home the next morning to play for Fort Greene. So that's sort of how I got there.
An amazing story.
It was amazing to me too.
Let's give her a round of applause. That's quite awesome. So Megan, you kind of mentioned this, but you got to work with some real big names. Will you tell us what that's like, and if you had a favorite cast co-star? Okay.
Well, at the time that we did this, Madonna was at her apex. She was a huge, huge star. Truth or Dare had just come out, and we were working, Deborah Winger was originally cast in the Dottie part. And so we did a lot of baseball training for a few months before we actually did any shooting for the movie. And we had a reading of the script, and you know, everybody's coming in to sit down and do the reading, and I had been working out with the girls, so I knew a lot of the gals before, you know, we did this, but Madonna was pretty new, and then Gina came in later, and Tom Hanks walked up to me, and he was like, hi, Tom Hanks. I was like, yeah, I know. It was surreal. It felt like every dream that you ever wanted to have as an actor. You're working with all these people. It's a huge movie. John Lovitz said to me, this is your first major motion picture? I had to do 18 B movies before I ever got to do a major motion picture. It's like, this may be the best thing you ever do. And I was like, damn you, why do you have to say? Sorry, I shouldn't have sworn, sorry. Darn you! So it was the best thing. I've had a career and I had a wonderful career, but this movie changed my life. This movie utterly changed my life. And I want to add that the real thing about this movie was that we wanted to make the AAGPBL women proud, because their story had not been told, and it was a piece of history that had been completely left out of the books. So, but that was everybody says, did you know it would be a hit? We had no idea. We had no idea. First of all, first movie. Second of all, they shoot it completely out of order. So the first scene that we shot was my wedding. And like, you know, as you know, that's like pretty much when I exit the movie. So, you know, it was just pieced together by the director. You just do the best you can and you hope that they'll use the scenes that, you know, the takes that you did that you liked, but, you know, whatever. Anyway, it was amazing, and I can't believe I've gotten to do it, and it's humbling.
That's really fun to hear about your experience. I think everyone kind of wants to know what it's like working on a movie set, and especially when you're new to it and you're with all these big stars. So, and you mentioned that you wanted to make the women of the league very proud. Did they do that, Dolly?
They do that, and they are still doing that. We're very proud to see them at our events, and we're very happy that they have extended our legacy, and we're very happy that they extended the legacy for the girls who are coming up, for the girls who would not be playing if it weren't for Title IX, for the girls who look at the movie, and I get letters from all over saying, I saw that movie 15 times, and I loved it, and everybody that I talk to loves the movie, and we love you guys for doing it. We love you guys for doing it. It changed our lives too, believe me. My daughter, who is here, she didn't even know that I had played in the league. I never said anything. I didn't really know it was important. I was doing what I love to do. I love to play ball, and that's what I did. And so, you know, that was sort of our attitude until the young girls, and actually young guys, which I'm really was surprised at, come and say, thank you so much. And I say, you're welcome, but we didn't know we were doing that. We were sort of an accident of history, if you could put it that way. But we appreciate, Megan, all that you do and are still doing. And we have amazing people that we work with too. They join our organization, and they're at everything that we go to. They set up things for us. They follow us around, and they help us so much. And these are women who just love baseball, and they love the story that you folks have told. And we really appreciate the fans too as well. We're very happy about it. Believe me, this has changed my life. I have been places and met people that I never would have had the opportunity to meet. Wonderful people. So it has changed our lives as well.
An amazing story. Thank you so much. So you were mentioning, everyone